Hello students, I am Dr. Hari Prabhan Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, GLA University, Mathura. In this video, we have discussed second theory of capital structure. That name is net operating income approach. If we talk about the net operating income approach, this theory is also suggested by David Durant and it is also known as irrelevant theory. As per the net operating income approach, value of a firm is not dependent upon its capital structure. It is just opposite to the net income approach. To this theory, according to this theory, change in the capital structure of a company does not affect the market value of the firm, and the overall cost of capital remains constant irrespective of the method of financing. It implies that the overall cost of capital remains the same where the debt equity mix is 50-50 or 20-80 or 0-100. It doesn't matter for all these things. There is nothing as an optimum capital structure, and every capital structure is the optimum capital structure. That is a non-dependent, that is a irrelevant. In other words, we can say the total market value of the firm is not affected by the change in the capital structure, and overall cost of capital remains constant, or we can say fixed, irrespective of debt equity mix. Now we discuss assumptions of net operating income theory. Weighted average cost of capital is always constant in this case, and it depends on the business risk. Means there is not any kind of financial risk. It is only a business risk. It is a depend only business risk. Second is value of the firm is calculated using the overall cost of capital, that is a weighted average cost of capital. Next one is the cost of debt is constant. It's not increase or decreases to increase the risk or decrease the risk. Corporate income tax do not exist, just like a previous theory of also David Durant, that is the net income approach. In this theory also corporate tax does not exist. Now we discuss cost of capital is constant. That is our cost of capital. It is a constant to all of the time. Whatever is proportion of our debt, proportion is increases, if debt proportion is decreases, the cost of capital or weighted average cost of capital has no impact. Okay, or what's the reason behind that? What the theory we give? The reason propounded for such assumption are that the increased use of debt increase the financial risk of the equity shareholders, and hence the cost of equity is also increases. On the other hand, the cost of debt remains constant with the increasing proportion of debt, as the financial risk of the lenders is not affected. Thus, the advantage of using the cheaper source of fund, that is debt, is exactly offset by the increased cost of equity. According to net operating income approach, the financing mix is irrelevant and it does not affect the value of the firm. The net operating income approach showing the effect of leverage on the overall cost of capital, which we will discuss with these numericals or these formulas. First, the value of a firm on the basis of net income approach can be determined. V equal to EBIT upon K0. Here V equal to value of the firm, value of a firm. EBIT we know very well, earning before interest or tax, or we can say net operating income. K0 equal to overall cost of capital, or we can say weighted average cost of capital. Now after that we also calculate the market value of the equity. When we talk about the market value of equity, we find out S equal to V minus D equal to S equal to market value of equity share, V equal to total market value of a firm, and D equal to market value of a debt. S market value of equity share, V equal to total market value of a firm, or D equal to market value of debt. In our previous video we have also discussed V equal to S plus D also. The same thing, you know very well how we calculate, where V equal to total market value of firm, S equal to market value of equity, and where we also discuss how we calculate market value of equity shareholders. So that's the earning available to equity shareholders upon equity capitalization rate. Okay. Now, how we calculate equity capitalization rate if that is not given? The cost of equity or equity capitalization rate, that is a KE equal to earning after interest and before tax. Earning after interest and before tax, or we can say EBT, earning before tax, upon market value of firm minus market value debt. Market value debt. Now EBIT minus interest upon V minus D. Here V is same value of a firm, D is market value of debt, okay. These are the things which we have discussed here. After that we discuss next video, our next theory, that is called traditional theory. If you have any doubt, then you discuss in a class. Thank you to all of you. Listen carefully.